Hey, it's Cori Tessier. I'm here with Legacy Home Group, and I'm joined today by the Lauren Young of Supreme Lending. Lauren, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So today we want to talk about the cost of waiting, right? So the big elephant in the room is interest rates. What's going to happen in the future? How does it affect me today? So we brought our expert Lauren in, and she's going to give us a little bit of insight. Lauren is pre-approving people every single day. She's in it. She knows what it is. So what does that mean to us today as buyers? November 2023. Lauren, give us a lowdown.
Yeah, sure. So right now, what I'm hearing a lot from buyers is that they want to wait for rates to come down, wait for home prices to come down. And the realistic view of that is, it's not, we're not going to get back to 2020 rates. So we want to look at what it looks like today to buy a home and then the cost of waiting. And actually, it could cost you more out of pocket than you realize. So
And that's
what I'd
because
like.
as home prices go, as year to year, home prices typically increase 4 to 5%,
Mhm.
correct?
Correct. Yes. Historically in Belknap County, we are at an appreciation rate of a little over 4%. Now, obviously, market can drive that up even further. So, yeah,
Sure.
4 to 5% is pretty accurate. So, what I'm going to do is show you what that looks like today. So, median home price in Belknap County right now is at $470,000. Today, if you were to take a loan out and we're putting 10% down, your interest rate is at 7.625, your principal and interest payment would be 29.94 and about $61,000 total for down payment and closing costs. Now, fast forward 6 months from now, when we think interest rates are going to decrease. In the grand scheme of things, you're looking at maybe a 0.5%. And your home price has now increased to, just below about 3.5%. That same home as $486,502. Your interest rate has decreased to 7.125. Your monthly mortgage payment is now $29.50. That is only about $45 or $44 less than it would have been 6 months ago. And you are now paying about $1,500 more to get into that home because of the combination of home prices increasing. A year from now, that same home price is going to be 500,000, a little bit more. You're going to have a lower interest rate. You're going to have a little bit lower monthly mortgage payment. You're going to be paying about $3,000 more out of pocket for that same home. And then, 2 years from now, even more. They may be around the same interest rate, and your monthly mortgage payment is now more because the home prices have gone up 10%.
Sure.
So the benefit of, not only purchasing now because you're going to potentially spend less money right at this moment, but what you're in the same boat, or so many other people are waiting to buy because they think they're going to save money now. You could be missing out on that perfect home, but you're also going to be able to get into that home now with less competition, right? Are you hearing that too, that their buyers are just waiting?
Yeah, so we've had buyers waiting since, people since 2019, right? And then this whole COVID thing happened, and then now our prices have shot way up. So, people that are waiting for a crash, so to speak, that happens when there are, an overabundance, a large amount of inventory available on the market. It's just not the case, right? So
Right,
we
supply
still
and
see.
demand right now. There's
Correct.
not there's too much demand, not enough supply.
So I think one of the things that we were talking about is that yes, rates are higher. A year ago, when all of a sudden rates jumped to 5%, people were like, wait, 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 we're
Yep.
going to wait because I cannot pay 5%. All my friends paid 2.5%, right? So that 5% was really scary. And now looking back, we're at 1 year later from those 5% rates, and it's jumped from there, right? So the
Correct.
prices have not gone down. The prices are holding steady. The rates are going up. So when they go up, they can also go down. We don't know. We don't know when that's going to happen. Historically speaking, we are expecting them to start creeping back down. Will it get to that 2.5%? No. Right. But if all of a sudden we were offered a 5% right now, What do you think would happen, Lauren?
Right. Oh, so the market would be flooded now with way more buyers than before. And guess what? When you have that so many more buyers, the demand increases, supply stays the same, those home prices are going to continue to
Then we're
increase
back
in
into
market.
the multiple offers. We're back into, a house hits the market. You have to rush to get there. You're paying over, and that's how the prices increase again. Right. So when we think about overall in the market, is it a good time to buy? Yes, rates are high, but in New Hampshire right now, we're coming into our winter markets, right? So sellers that are on the market right now are motivated,
Motivated.
right?
Mhm.
They want to sell.
Mhm.
And let's say we have a little bit of a higher rate than what we're used to. Now we have some time for negotiating. We have some of those sellers that have been sitting in the market. So just because they're at priced at something doesn't necessarily mean that that's their bottom line, right? So
Correct.
it's really important to work with a lender that you're comfortable with, to work with an agent that knows how to negotiate. So like, let's write an offer. Like we know from
Mhm.
Lauren, from everything she's given us of what we can afford, and let's go and let's try to put something together, right? Because
Right.
there are going to be a little bit more movement. And if we do it now versus the spring, if the spring hits and interest rates have started to creep down a little bit, like we're going to be in some major competition.
More competition. And something I am seeing now, so those first time home buyers that are out and looking now, they're getting their offers accepted with VA loans, FHA loans. We got down payment assistance available for them. It is their market right now too, I feel. It's giving them
100%.
opportunity that they didn't have during COVID because they weren't going to consider something that was at list price offer or a different kind of loan program.
And I think that message to those first time homebuyers, I mean, there's a lot of media out there, right? There's a lot of messages coming across that it's a terrible time to buy. No one can afford a house. No one can buy a house. Lauren, talk to me about that assistance. What does that look like? So let's say I'm a young first time homebuyer. What are my options?
Yeah. So you do have state of New Hampshire through New Hampshire Housing offers amazing programs to first-time home buyers, and they even offer them at below market rate too right now. You can get up to $10,000 for for down payment and closing cost assistance. Supreme Lending also has their own down payment assistance programs too, conventional down payment assistance and FHA down payment assistance too. They can go above and beyond the $10,000 at New Hampshire Housing is offering. So
So
there
that
are
10,000
options out
so that $10,000 is you're giving me that money.
there. Mhm. It is forgivable. There is no you have no obligation to pay on that. It is state funded or through New Hampshire Housing funded assistance there. Yeah.
So if we take that with some negotiating on a home price, maybe a seller paid closing
Absolutely.
costs. So
Mhm.
right now, like let's say a house is listed for 300,000, right? And my closing cost, what would my closing cost be at 300,000, let's say?
So their range is based on property taxes, title fees, things like that. So around $12,000 for with
Okay.
escrows for property taxes and homeowners insurance.
So let's say the house is 300,000. I know my closing costs. I'm the buyer. I'm coming in. My closing costs are $10,000. I could go in and offer the seller who's been sitting in the market. I could say, "Hey, I want to offer you 300,000, but I'd like to ask for seller paid closing costs of $10,000." Right?
Hmm.
So the seller is netting
Hmm.
$290,000, which is probably more than what their bottom line is.
Sure.
And at closing, I'm coming to the table with maybe $2,000 out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. It's possible. Absolutely. With
So
the
those are,
right loan program, with the right negotiating skills from your real estate agent. Absolutely. Now is
um,
a good time to buy.
it is a good time.
And
Go ahead.
it's not money you're putting money out of your pocket, right, to buy this home. But I like to think of it of not taking it out of your pocket and leaving it somewhere. You're taking it out of one pocket and putting it into the other, because now you're building equity in your home that you can tap into in the later date and time and use it to put back into the value of your home. You need to do updates down the road or whatnot. It's not money wasted by any means. Instead of taking it out of your pocket and giving it to a landlord, put it into another pocket, right?
Yeah. And I think about those first time home buyers, right? At some point you want to get a ticket on the train, right? So maybe it's not your dream house. Maybe it needs some work. It needs some elbow grease. Gone are the times of a first time home that you're going to walk in and it's going to be the most beautiful, updated, house. There
Mhm.
is some potential that we could find something that maybe needs a little bit of elbow grease over time, right?
Mhm.
In order to get it and think of it, maybe this isn't my forever home. Maybe this is my right now home. So now I have a
Right.
ticket on the ride. I'm in it.
Absolutely.
And now I can then use that maybe in 2 or 3 years and then sell it. That the proceeds from that are going to go towards my down payment on my next house. And maybe that next house is my dream house.
Right.
So
And that is how you use equity, right, in your home, because 2 years from now it's going to probably be 10% more worth 10% more than it was when you bought it. You take that 10% equity that you have in your home, turn it over and use it for a down payment in your dream home or your next level up home or what have you.
I love that. So it's really important. So if you have any questions regarding like, hey, do I qualify? I mean, we always say the first step in our home buying process is to number one, meet with a local lender that knows the area, that is here, that picks up the phone, has amazing communication. Lauren hits all of those lists. Her
Yep.
office is right here at our legacy headquarters in downtown Laconia. She's here all the time. We have walk-ins. So if you wanted to start that conversation of, hey, I'm thinking about buying a home, what does it look like? Let's just get numbers, right?
Yep.
So that's the first place to go.
Yep.
We're going to get numbers. And I oftentimes send some buyers to Lauren that aren't ready, right?
Yep.
So, Lauren,
Yep.
talk to me about a buyer that is brand new. What do you do with a buyer that's not ready?
Yeah, sure. Well, I would do the same thing I would do with a buyer that is ready. I get all of their information. We talk about income. We verify what that income is. I have the ability to do soft credit pulls too. So some people
Okay.
get a little trigger shy with not wanting to have a huge hit on your credit. You can do a soft credit pull. Doesn't impact your credit at all, but it gives us an accurate representation of your financial picture. And we just run scenarios through. We talk about what things look like right now for you, if we need to do a little credit repair, or if we really do need to, self-employed borrower that maybe needs to show a little bit more income on their taxes, or, there's so many different scenarios, but we talk about, what things look like for you right now. And if we need to have a game plan in place to get you to a point where you are able to buy a month, 3, 6 months from now. And it's not because interest rates need to go down. It's because you need to be in a better, a more financial situation that's better for you.
Right. And Lauren's in the position to, go on that journey with you that, hey, we're going to start here. Maybe we're not ready. And
Yep.
then this is where we are. And as it goes on, and then then you know what you need to do. You know what you need to focus on.
You need a
In order,
baseline.
you have to get a baseline. Right.
Right? You need to
And
know
then
where
so
you
as an
are.
agent, we then take that, we're in communication with Lauren and
Mhm.
we're like, hey, does this house, fit their needs? Is it going to work out financially for them? And then we go and see it and then figure out how we're going to negotiate it for our clients to get them in there. So we've had some really great success stories, you and I, even this year, of people that have
Mhm.
been working for a long, long time that I
Yeah.
was like, listen, just go talk to Lauren. Well, let's get a baseline.
Yeah.
And then,
And there's no out of pocket cost or obligation too for buyers to start this process. There's none. It's just time.
right.
Right.
So I think that there's a lot of information out there. I think that people just need to get educated on, the process of it. And then we're obviously here to help. So we are here, reach out to us, and we would love to help our buyers get to that closing table
Yeah.
and have it make it work for them. And here we are.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Corey.